Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and I read Bouquins and books. As you can see, I have changed my background. It's because I want to talk about 5 random books in my video today. And this is my main shelf, I won't call it a bookcase, my main bookshelf. It's the mantelpiece, it's the chimney mantle. So that is where I pile up all my mass market paperbacks. And that is the place where there are the most books, the highest concentration of books in my apartment. And I thought it would be fun just to choose 5 random books. So for that, I have my iPad with a random number generator. So I asked first for a number between 1 and 9, so for each of the columns starting on this side, and then for a number either between 1 and 40 for the columns on the left, because there are more books in these columns, or between 1 and 30 for the 4 columns on the right. And starting at the top, 1 being at the top and 30 or 40 being at the bottom. And yeah, I will talk about each book. Hopefully I remember what they're about. That would be a bit sad if I didn't remember what it was about. And yes, I guess I'll talk a bit about the book. So there we go, first book. Column number 9, book number 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Aha. Terry Pratchett, guards, guards! I have not read a ton of Terry Pratchett. He's an author I discovered only, I think it's last year. It's last year that I read The Color of Magic, which is the first one in the Discworld series. And I liked it. I was not as enthusiastic about it as I thought I would, because I had heard so many great things about Terry Pratchett and I was sure it would be just right up my alley. It would be just wonderful. It was good, but it was not extraordinary. However, I had read that The Color of Magic was not necessarily the best Terry Pratchett, so I decided to read something else, and I tried Guards, Guards, and I really liked it. And I really like the atmosphere of this world and this crazy place, really. It's quite fun. So I do recommend Guards, Guards. I read it last year for the first time, and I'm sure it's the sort of book, if I had read it when I was a teenager, I would have reread it 100 million times. Yeah, there are books like that. Depending on when we discover them, we like them more or less. I'm sure if I had discovered Terry Pratchett as a teenager, I would have read all of his works. But I discovered him last year, so I've read 3. But I'll read more. So that's the first book. Second book. Column number 2, book number 1. 2, 1. Oh. This is He Is Back. I think the title in English is He Is Back. The author is Timur Vermes, and it's translated from the German. Yes, from the German. I was not overwhelmed by this book. I didn't like it much, in fact. It's supposed to be some sort of comedy about what would happen if Hitler came back. I don't really know why I bought it in the first place, because just the premise does not make me comfortable now. It's been a while, it's been a few years, so I don't remember what my frame of mind was so that I felt compelled to buy it. Maybe because it was everywhere, or perhaps I think a movie was made out of it, and I think that's it. There was a movie and I thought, okay, if I'm going to watch the movie, I want to read the book first. So I read the book first and I thought it was just okay, nothing more than that. The newborn Hitler has this sort of obsession with people picking up after their dog, and I thought it was weird. The fact that it came up once, okay, it's something that has changed since the 1940s. People pick up after their dogs, but it really came way too often in the book. It became some sort of running gag, and for me it was not funny in the first place. So yeah, a running gag that doesn't work, it hampers the entire book. So that one was an average read for me. Next book. Column number 1. Book number 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. This is one of the very few books I haven't read. And it's a book in French. I have no idea if it's translated in English. The author is Jacques Bainville, and it's a biography of Napoleon. And I remember I bought this for probably $1, if not just 50 cents, at a library sale way back when I lived with my parents. So let's go back 20 years ago or something like that. And yeah, I bought it because it was available for cheap, but I never read it. So I don't know if it's good. In fact, I have never read a biography of Napoleon. I don't think. Did I? No, I don't. No, I've read some sort of fiction by Max Gallo, but it's not a biography. So no, I've never read a biography by Napoleon. I'm really unlucky. Of all these books, I've read like more than 90% of them. I think there are 5 books in this entire pile that I have not read. And that's one of them. Well. Next book, column number 2, book number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The title in English is The Great Mare by Marcel Emmy. Marcel Emmy is one of my favorite authors. He is most famous for his short stories, mainly The Man Who Could Walk Through Walls. It's one of my favorite collection of short stories ever. This is a book that I had seen recommended on a list of one of the best funny books in literature. It's supposed to be a funny book. It did not age well at all. So The Great Mare is a green mare that is a picture on a wall, and the mare is witness to a whole bunch of things that happens in that house, but also out of the house. And it's about a rivalry between 2 neighbors, and the rivalry becomes that it's a contest between which neighbor will manage to sleep or have sex with the daughter of the other neighbor, but the girl is not necessarily consenting. And it's supposed to be a comedy. So it really did not age well. It's not the best of Marcel Emmy. Perhaps it was in 1950 France, which was very, very sexist. And even today, it is still way more sexist than Canada is. So this one, just for absolute fans of Marcel Emmy only. If you've never read Marcel Emmy, don't start with The Great Mare. Start with something else. Next, column no, I had the wrong generator. Column number 7, book number 3. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Mcin. I don't know if this book is translated in English. I will look it, and if it is, I will leave the title in the description box below. So Mcin, this is an author I've read 3 or 4 of his books, and I've all liked them. They're all very, very good. And the particularity of Mcin is that he was born in the USSR. His first language is is Russian. But he lives in France and writes in France. And the way he managed to get published for the first time was by pretending that the book he had written in French was in fact a translation. Because publishers did not want to publish a book written in French by a Russian author. But if he pretended, no, I just translated the book from the Russian, then yes, it would be publishable. And it got published. And I don't remember if it's his first book, but one of his very first book won the Goncourt, which is the most important prize in French literature. So if you've never read Makine, he's a very good author. I really recommend him. This particular book is set in the Soviet Union. It is about the purges in a way. It's the story of a man, a soldier, whose parents disappeared in the concentration camps in Siberia, in the gulags. And he becomes a soldier, but of course he cannot really go up in the rank. And before, when he was part of the privileged class, he had become a musician. And the only way he managed to survive was by disappearing himself, by becoming someone else. And this is about hiding your identity, hiding your true nature, and trying to survive. So it's a short book, but it's a very good one. And yeah, if you've never read the author, I recommend him. So that is it, 5 random books from my wonderful bookshelf. So let me know in the comments if you like this video. I may do another one. Let me know if you've read any of these books, any of these authors, if you like them, if you don't like them. And if you want some other videos like this, let me know. And I'll make some more. They're not complicated. Thank you everyone for watching. I will see you in the next video. À la prochaine!